the Labour Party leadership is coming out to deny the fact that they are under the influence or the manipulation of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Series of prominent Nigerian politicians, series of political analysts across the nation has accused the Labour Party leadership of romancing the president. They claim that the leadership of the Labour Party has been under the direction and the influence of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The Labour Party has found itself at the center of speculations following rumors of a secret deal with President Bola Tinubu over the 2027 presidency. In response, the party firmly denied the allegation, insisting that there is no such agreement. Reacting to a viral video by human rights lawyer Deji Adeyanju accusing the Labour Party of collaborating with President Bola Tinubu for his return in 2027, the party's National Publicity Secretary, Obiora Ifo, noted that the allegations were fabricated. He also challenged Adeyanju to provide evidence for his accusations. Okay, Mayor, let me start with you. The viral video of Deji Adeyanju. First of all, what do you make of the comments by Deji Adeyanju? And also, are there facts to back his claims?
No. You see, Deji is one of those human rights activists who jump into things, and what in this case, what he's saying with all respect to him is nonsense. Why?
Really?
Yes. Why is it nonsense? What is happening in the Labour Party is inter-party problems. Okay. It's just like what is happening in PDP.
In the PDP.
There are two factions.
Also the APC.
Yeah, there are two factions. There are two factions in the Labour Party. And those factions, because there are some people controlling the party before Obi came.
Okay.
Now Obi, the governor in Abia, and the new set of leaders wants to take the party along a particular way.
Okay.
Out of route. The people who were there before do not agree with them. So they have problems within the party.
Okay.
If you cannot solve the problem within your party, you cannot be accusing someone of the one that people are collaborating with the president because of 2027. That's nonsense. The problem in Labour Party has to do with the issue in Labour Party because there are different tendencies in Labour Party. The original NLC people, they have their own faction and their own idea of how the party should run.
Yes.
The Abure-led faction, who is entrenched, who the court says that's the leadership of the party. That's another tendency. Then Obi and the governor of Abia and Oti and others, they try to remove Abure them and said, they did a thing and put some people there to say, okay, run this party, and then you now come up with how we're going to conduct new election and all that. The other faction went to court, and the court says, no, this is not valid. This is the authentic leadership within the party. So that's the problem.
So it's on three fronts.
It is that problems that has weakened the party.
Okay.
So if somebody now comes and says, oh, these people running the party, they are doing that because they want to support Tinubu for 2027, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. It's because you are not be able to run your party well. It's the same problem that's happening in PDP. PDP has factions right now.
Yes.
And if you cannot solve the problem within your party, it's not the fault of someone else. It's not the fault of another party who know what they are doing. So what they should do is to solve the problem within the party.
First.
So people like just playing to the gallery to say it's a normal politics things when people will say, oh, it is this person that is instigating people within our party because he wants to contest in 2027. So he wants to weaken opposition and wants everybody to, so that the opposition will not be in a position to remove or displace his party. That's trash talk. If you know you want to be taken seriously, solve the problem within your party. So what is happening in Labour Party is that division within different tendencies within the party.
The rebuttal by the Labour Party spokesperson, was it convincing enough?
Yeah. Well, you see...
And also what you think about Deji Adeyanju, what he said.
Well, I think to me, what the Adeyanju has said may be true or may not be true.
May be true.
Or may not be true.
Okay.
But the fact is that the Labour Party that we have today is not, there's nothing Labour about the current Labour Party.
Oh, really?
If you look at Labour Party all over the world,
okay,
it's usually a party of workers, of students, of the proletariat.
Okay.
And in Nigeria, we have had Labour parties in fact, it actually started in 1963 with people like Wahab Goodluck, Fatogun, Escotoyo, Dimadonago, the radical left. And they made an attempt in 1989, Professor Escotoyo and all of them in Calabar, to start another Labour party. Shibola attended that party because they wanted a party that would represent farmers, peasants, the poorest of the poor. So it's a very novel idea. But when this party came in 2002, initially the NSC was involved in its formation. But gradually, the Labour Party has become a vehicle of convenience for the greatest enemies of Labour itself. That's why bourgeois elements have been taking over that party. Look at when you lose when you go for PDP election, you lose the election, then you jump to Labour Party. It happened in Ondo State. So for somebody like even Peter Obi to emerge as a candidate of the Labour Party is a contradiction on its own. Because what is the background of Peter Obi when you are talking about relationship with the working class in Nigeria? So I think the original idea that was conceived by the Labour movement of even establishing the Labour Party itself, it has been defeated. So we are going to see a lot of contradictions. People that have just come into that party to use it as a kind of vehicle of convenience to achieve personal aims and ambitions. And the Labour Party of today is nothing without Peter Obi. The party was built around an individual. When you are talking about, go to local areas, are they holding ward meetings? If you go to this local, it's either you see APC, PDP holding ward meetings. That's all. All the other parties, they only come in when election is about 6 months' time. So when they are talking about Labour Party, as far as I know, if Obi leaves that party today, that is the end. And of course, those that are in Labour Party are remnants of people from PDP. So there's really nothing Labour about it. NSC itself has lost, its own stronghold in that party. So we are going to see a lot of contradictions in Labour Party, and that's why the elections we have had in Edo, in Ondo, Labour Party could not make any impact at all. So it's not really a dominant force in Nigeria. I'm telling you, if you remove Peter Obi, and I'm not sure he will be there in 2027. If you remove Peter Obi, who use that party as a weapon of convenience, there's nothing in that party again. So when Adeyanju is just talking about joining the president for 2007, what is the strength of the Labour Party itself? What is the strength of the party itself? So that's the point.
Lots of points he actually made there, but we're still going to visit those points.
What they bring to the table?
Have
but since 2023, has the Labour Party, have they shown competence?
No,
as a viable opposition?
That's what I'm explaining to you. Obi left PDP. And then used the vehicle to achieve his political ambition.
Okay.
You understand? Because of the sentiments at that time, being from the geopolitical area that it's from, they've not produced a president. Yes. So there are a lot of support for him. Then the youth, the young people that did NSAS, who wanted change, needed a vehicle to be able to express their anger, and they saw that vehicle in Labour Party. So young people, the people from his own geopolitical zone, everybody rallied around him, and he made significant impact. Came third. Very nice. But the problem is because it was a vehicle of convenience for him to realize a political ambition. It's not a party that they have interest in. So they are not building the party. From 2023 till now, if they have been serious, they will have built the party to become an alternative to the two major parties. They've not done that. That's why you mentioned parties is not just you don't look at a party when they're only at the time of election. You understand? There's supposed to be ward meetings. You have officials who are meeting, who are getting in touch with the grassroots, who are mobilizing, who are doing that. Labour Party is not doing that. Instead, because overnight it became a big party, or no, not big party, a major party. Because it became a major party, they now started fighting themselves. That's what I'm saying. Everybody now was now trying to fight for the soul of the party. You know, there was a time after Abure that other man that was going to call the other time, Apapa came up to say, oh, we were the original members of Labour, and this is where we want to take Labour to. They kept going to court one time or the other. That was there. Then at the time, NSC too wanted to remove Abure. They are saying that, oh, this is the Labour Party. It's our party. We must decide who runs our party. They failed. Then Obi and Oti, they also came up to say, oh, we want to take control of this party. And they could not do that. So that is the major problem that they have there. They will not be able to build a party because there is no question. So everybody just doing what they like. And because they are competing for the soul of the party, they have weakened the party to a point that the party is not doing anything. Somebody does not need the party to say he needs the party for 2027 election.
So in other words,
if they contest election now, if Labour Party contest election now, they will not perform as well as they did.
So in other words, there's no truth to what Deji Adeyanju just said.
There's no. All right,
let's talk opposition politics now. The opposition right now is almost absent. Talk about opposition from PDP, opposition from PDP and Labour.
You know why?
But do you think, what is Nigeria sliding into a one-party scenario?
It could be, yes. We are on the way to a one-party state. You know why?
How do we stop it?
Because the other parties have to understand. I will give you an example.
Okay.
When PDP was in power,
yes,
some people sat down and said, how do we remove PDP? How do we remove PDP? AC and CPC now decided to say, let us merge, let us come together.
Okay.
They met, had agreement, form a solid party that cut across the entire country.
Okay.
You understand? And after doing that, they were able to now perform the role of an opposition party, giving PDP a run for their money. Remember then that former Minister for Information, Lai Mohammed, was the publicity.
And he did
a wonderful job, putting the government on their toes.
Exactly.
So it was not surprising that they were able to defeat a ruling.
And the PDP also had issues, the MPDP.
That's what I'm saying. Some of the people joined them and all that. Some people from ABGA, led by the Imo State governor, also joined them. And they were able to now form a solid party that could take over power. But the problem that we have now is that since they lost power and they lost that ability to dispense largesse to members, they are confused. Because instead of them to come together to say, look, let us find a way of how we are going to dislodge APC as a party from forming government. You understand? They, like Labour, are fighting themselves. Within the PDP, there are different tendencies. There are people who are, just like with what is happening in Labour Party, it's happening in PDP. Every time they are fighting for the soul of the party, they don't even have having problems with their
we'll still talk about the PDP because the PDP is our next conversation. When we return, you also have a slice of this conversation, but we need to go on this quick break. Don't go anywhere. It's still Journalist Hangout. All right, you're welcome back. It's still Journalist Hangout if you just joined us. We still have Adewale Adeoye and Mayor Akinpelu. My name is Benga Oreshekun. So let's go back to that conversation earlier. Is Nigeria sliding, talk about opposition, are we sliding into a one-party scenario?
I think legally we have more than 40 political parties.
Sure.
But in terms of de facto existence of political parties, there are just 2 political parties in Nigeria.
Not 3.
Not 3. Well, look, let's say 3.
Let's say even 4.
Let's say even 4.
Okay, exactly.
Let's say, So in terms of capacity, in terms of the APC seeing a major threat,
yes,
I don't think it's the Labour Party. The major threat might be PDP. Because when you look at in terms of structure, in terms of experience, in terms of individuals in that party, in terms of, ability to mobilize the people.
Yes.
For now, as we speak today, the threat is PDP. And the PDP we are talking about has been decimated because of its own internal contradictions. So we are moving towards a one party, not the choice of those that are ruling us, but the weak weaknesses of those that are supposed to play the role of opposition. Mobilizing the people is not a tea party. It's not also about attacking everybody that disagrees with you. See what is happening on social media. If you don't disagree with you, you are insulted, you are attacked. And on the day of voting, the vote of a beggar on the street or a journalist is the same with the vote of a professor. So it means that while mobilizing people, you must realize that every individual, every social sector is important.
You don't think
the Labour Party is not doing that as we speak?
It's a strategy of the APC to actually cause problems with the opposition?
The APC has no control.
What's wrong with that?
Yes, what's wrong with that?
The APC has no control on the momentum of opposition. It is the people that can determine the momentum of opposition to the party in power.
Okay.
In any case, if I happen to be in power, part of the loss of power is that I want to retain that power. I must do everything strategically possible to ensure that I hold on to power.
Yeah.
So it's not left for the opposition to wake up and then, to confront that situation.
I need you to explain that part. What's wrong with that?
Yes, what's wrong with that? Because if a party wants to win an election,
yes,
they have to look at every way to do that within the legal ambit.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
So if, for example, they see that there are some people who are not happy within a particular party, you understand?
They energize them.
To convince them to move over to your party. Okay. It's legitimate and agreed by every other person. To convince them to say, come and join us. It happens everywhere.
How about to convince them to cause a problem in their party?
It doesn't have to cause a, because if somebody can convince your members, yes, to cause problem within your party, then they are not genuine members. They are hustlers who just want to enrich themselves.
In the game of political power,
yes,
propaganda is a weapon. Causing division among the opposition is a weapon.
It's a weapon.
Because politics itself is an extension of war. Yes. So the opposition also is supposed to do the same thing. We are talking about Adeyanju. That's part of propaganda. To say that Labour Party wants to, it's propaganda. So the ruling party also deserves the right to also use propaganda as a weapon, in dealing with the opposition. So there's nothing that has been part of politics.
In the last election in America, there are a lot of Democrats that went to work for Trump. There are some people within the Republican Party who said they don't want Trump and they were campaigning for Kamala. It is understandable that your party is weak or your members want to support me. It's legitimate. There's nothing wrong with that. So it is now left for you to be able to run your party well, yes, mobilize your members well, so that it will be difficult for the other party to take your members. Okay,
Mayor, you said something earlier. You talked about, in 2015, there were some alliances.
Yes.
The APC, the CPC, AC, and 2027. What kind of alliances along party lines?
It is very simple. For example, in 2023, Ashaju would not have won that election if Obi was still in PDP. Because if you calculate the votes that Obi scored with that of Atiku, it's more than that of Ashaju.
Okay.
So for you to be able to defeat the ruling party, you must be able to form alliances
along parties.
And in forming alliances, you have to make sacrifices. I will give you an example.
Okay.
When TPCAC, some members of PDP, some members of ABGA, when they came together, you understand?
Yes.
A lot of people, that's why you wanted to be president, but you have to subdue his own ambition to say that, look, let us allow this man that has been contesting in the north, gathering 12 million votes, but could not be able to stretch his hands across the Niger.
Yes.
Let's allow him to be the candidate and let us support him. And they did. They supported him, and Buhari became president. After Buhari, Tinubu became president. You have to be strategic when you are seeking power. You cannot be selfish. The problem they have in PDP, for example, why did he leave? He saw that there was no path for him to become the candidate of the party. And he went to a place where he can get a vehicle to realize his ambition. We are talking of 2027 already. Yes. There are problems in PDP because Atiku still wants to run. Yes. Some people are claiming that, Atiku is the best guy. And some people are saying that, look, you have done this thing, you have tried several times.
Exactly.
The party have given you opportunity, but you have not been able to do that. Some people say that. Then when you look at, when you see what they are happening now, people believe part of the problem last time
that
the Wike had with them was that power was supposed to shift to the south.
Okay.
So if you bring the article again now, you are trying to destabilize that equilibrium because the people within the party, the southern members of the party, believe that there should be power shift to the south. So if you bring another article, that will be a problem. So the only alliance they could do is that the other parties, PDP, Labour Party, ABGA, and NMP, they must come together. For them to stand a chance at all, they must come together to say, let us form a big party that can compete
with the ruling party.
With the ruling party.
What are your thoughts here? What do you foresee as we go into 2027?
Well, I think, just like Mayor said, Buhari would not have won that election if not because of the configuration of forces, CPC, ABGA, AD, AC, ANPP, that came together and said, look, we want to put a stop.
Yes.
And they looked for a candidate that had charisma. And 2015 was able to win that election.
Yes.
As we are, but don't forget that there's a momentum that led to that 2015. I don't want to call it revolutionary change. It wasn't revolutionary, but that led to a national change, of party preference after 16 years of PDP rule. Now, the parties that came together at that time, they were formidable. The AC was formidable in the southwest. The ANPP was formidable in the northeast and northwest. Then a faction of PDP in the middle belt also joined them, led by former senator.
Yes,
So it became a movement that almost nobody could stop. And they were able to bring in Buhari to power. But now, I don't see, powerful blocks that can upstage the current atmosphere. Even though we have more or less like a situation where people are eager for change. Be angry to change a system does not automatically transform to changing that system. Correct. You must be organized, you must be scientific, you must be able to mobilize the people, and you must have an agenda that is appealing to everybody. And your language must appeal to the people that you are talking to. Then you must have the capacity, the ability to have sleepless nights, to go to rural areas, people on the field, in the plain, in the rural areas, on mountains, not just sitting down and writing on your Facebook. Last election, only 25 million people voted during the presidential election. Yeah. Out of 93 million registered voters, only about 74 collected PVC. So it means there is a virgin of voter about 60 million Nigerians that nobody is talking to them. Nobody is ready to go out to go and meet them. Well, waging political struggle, like I said, politics is an art of war by other means. You may be condemning these people, Ashwaji and all of them. They spend sleepless nights. Most of the time they don't sleep. Working overnight, working in the afternoon. So the girls think you just sit down on social media, you want to take power from them. It's not going to be easy. So you need to go out there, mobilize the people, and then build a national structure that can confront the current people in power that are formidable, as you are speaking.
Some even went ahead to state that the PDP's national chairman, the acting national chairman, Damago, and the secretary frequently visits Aso Rock to brief the president on the activities of the PDP. However, the Labour Party leadership is coming out to deny the fact that they are under the influence or the manipulation of President Bola Tinubu. Many will feel that this is a political statement, including me, because recently an APC chieftain came out publicly to say it is their responsibility as a ruling party to see that the opposition is destabilized. He said it is their responsibility to destabilize the opposition. However, before he made that statement, a PDP chieftain, Sowunmi, had initially come out and directly accused President Bola Tinubu of being behind the crisis rocking the PDP. He, however, stated that once the president sacked the FT minister, that the PDP will have one house. He dared the president to sack the FT minister to see if PDP will not have one house.